Let's do the robots. Come on. I'm ready. Hey, I am transferring me dollars. Hey! Pay attention to the dollars. I need dollars, please. Hey! Come on. Hey, I am transferring me dollars. I need dollars, oh. Hey! I made it. Yeah. Hello everyone, hello people, welcome to another episode of Electronic TSA Products, and as usual, don't go anywhere. Last week we talked about Resveratrol. We are actually still on the series of Resveratrol, and this is the last episode as far as Resveratrol is concerned. Who is excited? Yeah, I'm excited. I know you are too anyway. Okay, so we talked about drug-drug interaction, like what other drugs can interact with resveratrol, and we mentioned blood thinners in the sense that it helps the blood to flow through the arteries and the veins, and then you don't need your blood to become too thin. As a result, you know, if it becomes too thin, it stops clotting, so we don't want that happening. So this week we are going to be looking at who should not take resveratrol. Who are the people that if they have some underlying conditions will say don't take this. So we are going to be talking about people with blood disorders, like for instance now anybody with hemophilia or somebody that is hemophilic, for instance, because that disorder prevents their blood from clotting. So they don't need anything that will make their blood too thin. So those that have blood disorders, in order to prevent both internal and external bleedings, we say don't take resveratrol in whichever quantity. And if for any reason they should take resveratrol, then it should be closely monitored by their physician. You know, I said something earlier. I said we are not saying because you're taking a supplement then you should stop visiting your physician or you should stop taking orthodox medicine. But what we are simply saying is everybody needs to supplement their diet. So even if you feel you're okay, you're good, you're strong, you can't be strong like this forever. Give yourself like another 10 or 20 years from now, you still need some things to help your body, you know, to boost your immune system. So that's what we're talking about. And everyone that is about to undertake a surgery, they should stop taking resveratrol 2 weeks before the surgery, and they should not take resveratrol 2 weeks after the surgery. This will help reduce the risk of bleeding. You know, anyone undergoing surgery, maybe somebody is going under the knife, there's definitely going to be a tendency of cutting open and all that. So we don't want excessive bleeding, and we want the blood to clot. Of course, you should not take resveratrol in excessive amounts. That's very, very correct. Anything done too much is bad. We don't want excess of anything, so you shouldn't take it in excessive amounts. Both in natural foods, those that like taking wine, you should not take too much. You know, taking too much, then you end up drinking to stupor and all that. So nobody should take excessive amounts. And then pregnant women and breastfeeding women, though there is actually no research to prove this anyway, but just like our in-house medical director will always say, in person of Dr. Emuche, we say leave pregnant women out of this supplement. Not because we are saying they should not take it, but what we are simply saying is if there is any form of complication, it might not be the supplement, but because you cannot prove it that okay, this is the reason or this is not the reason, that's why we're saying okay, just leave them out. But if anybody feels like they want to take it or they've been taking it before and they've not had any, you know, adverse effect and all that, fine. But it's just always good to leave pregnant women out because you can't really prove your innocence if anything goes bad. Resveratrol has mild estrogenic activities. It has mild estrogenic activity. So women with conditions that are estrogen sensitive. Estrogen is actually a female hormone. So women with conditions that are estrogen sensitive should seek medical advice before taking resveratrol. And just like I always tell people, I'm not asking anyone to ditch their physicians. Even if you're taking a supplement and you think the supplement is working well, you should still consult with your physician. Maybe there will be a reduction in your dosage of orthodox medicine or something, you know, you can't really say. Resveratrol reduces the activity of enzymes involved with drug metabolism, but whether it has a significant effect on humans has not been studied. So the enzymes involved with drug metabolism, like all the abdominal enzymes, like the intestinal enzymes, enzymes that help to break down food and all that, that help to in digestion and the rest. So it reduces their activities, and all that. But whether it has that kind of effect, just like I said in, I think before the last like 2 videos back, I said for now what we are using for our research, the research work done in the laboratory, for now all of these researches are carried out on mice or lab rats. And I said jokingly that if you are willing to come forward, just volunteer and say, okay, I want to be used for practical, or I want this research work to be carried on. People do it, and it's not anything bad actually. So still on the lighter mood. So what are the possible side effects of resveratrol? Like, what are the side effects? Most people, they'll tell you stuff like everything has side effects, or they'll tell you stuff like, okay, anything you use has a side effect. But I'm glad to inform you that anything natural does not have a side effect, except you're taking orthodox medicine. But if what you're using is maybe natural or fruits or natural herbs, the likelihood or the possibility of the side effects is very, very slim. So adverse effects of resveratrol in human has not been reported. As in, for as long as this thing has been in existence, nobody has said, okay, I used this thing and I reacted, so there is no adverse effect yet. And then long-term side effects are not known. So what we're categorically telling you now is taking these supplements or taking products will not generate any side effects. So if that is what you're scared of, that is making you, hold back, or like thinking, I don't want to join Tonics USA yet, well, I'm glad to inform you, and I want to burst your bubbles that no side effects, as in no single side effects. And then a small and brief clinical trial conducted in 2011 in obese patients giving 150 milligram per day of resveratrol noted no adverse reaction. Let me put it in quotes, no adverse reaction. So with this said, I would like to come to the end of this particular episode, and I'll be going into testimonials because I don't want to wrap it up yet because we're still going into testimonials. So thank you very much. Okay, so I have this testimonial from Facebook. I always tell you, go to our Facebook page, Relief Blend Testimonials. That's the Facebook page. Just log into Facebook, type Relief Blend Testimonials, and then you will see lots and lots of testimonies or testimonials on this page. So I have this testimonial from Mrs. Vivian eBay. Oh, I hope she's watching. Okay, if you're watching, Mrs. Vivian, hi. Okay, so here's the testimony. She said, Relief Blend CBD oil versus persistent headache. Mrs. Vivian is a pharmacist. She said, I have used CBD oil to manage pain and headaches. However, results come over days. I mentioned earlier that she's a pharmacist, so she's open to a lot of both orthodox medicines, both natural medicines, both herbal products. She's open to a lot. So she's saying here now that she has used CBD oil, not mentioning any company's name now. She has used CBD oil to manage pain and headaches, and the results always come after several days. So in her house, she avoids pharma analgesics. And the reason why we always tell people to avoid, as long as it's not inconveniencing you or causing a lot of discomfort or a lot of pain, you can just look for alternative medical substances to use than most of these synthetic drugs. So she, as a pharmacist, is saying in her house she avoids pharma analgesics, and she has used another brand of CBD for months. So according to her now in this testimonial, her husband was having a dull headache, which he managed, thinking it will clear on its own. We are all guilty of that. When you have a slight headache, you'll be like, it will go. When I sleep, it will go. When I this, it will go. And it could even be maybe an indication telling you that there's another underlying condition. The headache is just a symptom, but you just be like, it will go. So he managed thinking it will clear on its own, but this headache persisted. By the 3rd day, just imagine having headache for 3 days at a stretch consistently. By the 3rd day, it persisted, and by the 3rd day, he decided to try Relief Blend at bedtime. So he decided to try Relief Blend before going to bed, and then that pain that has persisted for 3 days started dulling out, and within less than 30 minutes, wow, I need a breather. 30 minutes! Now look at it, 3 days, 30 minutes. Somebody has, carried this headache for 3 days. I'm trying not to get too excited. Let me calm down. Somebody has carried this headache for 3 days. Then under 30 minutes of administering Relief Blend CBD oil, the pain dulled out. And you're telling me that this thing is not working. I don't know what to say to you anyway. So, in less than 30 minutes, the pain has completely disappeared. And she said, in her words, now I'm quoting her, I hope if she doesn't watch this, I'm going to send it to her. In her words, she said, Relief Blend in our hands is medicine without side effects. That's from a pharmacist. And I just said that earlier, that anything natural, if you're actually taking this thing and it's natural, the likelihood of a side effect is very, very slim. Thank you for watching. I appreciate everyone watching my videos. Thank you. Until I come your way next week. Bye. Ciao, ciao. Love you all.